The way I like to see Jiu-Jitsu lately is like I'm playing a video game. And I have to look at my opponent as a character in a video game. First in life, you want to figure out how your body works and how your character moves. You figure it out through playing sports, to doing Jiu-Jitsu, to do yoga, gymnastics, many things. And your body is only one side of that character. There's also the internal side. So even if nothing forces me to move, but I get broken mentally, I can still want to, still get triggered. So my ultimate goal is always this: find yourself into the extremes. So what I'm meaning with this, if you always go into the sauna and it's completely warm and hot inside, and you can calm yourself there, okay? If I can be calm there, now I can be a person that is trustable in the heat. And then I'm gonna go into the cold bath, and I get very cold there, and I'm calming myself, and I'm a person who can be trusted in the cold. And now I also feel better in the center, and I will be a more stable person. That is ultimately why Jiu-Jitsu is so successful. Because how can you know someone's true character? You put a person, if you put me on a really, it's fine, but you put me on a deep stress, you put me in a choke, and I start to spaz out and I start shaking around, okay? Now I cannot deal with that stress. Good, so that means I was ultimately a pudding, a pancake, and you cannot trust me because I freak out in extreme circumstances. On the other side, if I take the complete beginner in an arm bar, and even though I don't have to break him, and I break his arm, well, that means I'm not can be trusted in the extreme where I can be trusted. And now we can go more extreme. If my partner here is a white belt who actually tapped and I still break it, then I'm the ultimate douchebag. And if the guy who actually punched me in the face and I have his arm and I can still be controlled and not break his arm, that's when you can really be trusted in the extremes, and now we can have a nice roll. So this being said, when I'm playing, first of all, get to know your character in all extremes, and then know how the body moves. And then how does the body move? We have to think about it like this. We have joysticks. So for example, the wrist and the feet are the easiest joysticks. Whenever I'm going to twist the arm, look how the character is going to move. Well, twist in your butt, please. Just think about the shoulders. Yeah? I twist Jelle's hand, and the elbow is going to come inside, and I can keep twisting, and now the elbow comes up, and that's how even the biggest tree can be moved around. Now Jelle can react by going with the motion. Bring your shoulder to the hand, please. See? Okay, now he gave his back. Yes, he gave his back, but ultimately his structure is still intact. So what you always want to look for in Jiu-Jitsu is not position, it's not top, it's not bottom. Is the only thing you really want to look for is always structural integrity and mindfulness, and be calm in your head. And that's really the best moment to fight. A submission always happens when you get brought to structural unintegrity and then get past the point. That's when you have to tap. A choke, same thing for the artery. So now, how do I see this? This is a joystick I use to move him. Now Jelle can move. If I have controlled two opposite joysticks, now I control both of the rotations, and now Jelle, I'm going to break his one hand, and he's going to overcommit, and that means now I can tap him on the left side here. Now very often you're not going to see those two. This is a very opportunity to get, of course. But what is more possible, for example, is me getting the hand and the elbow. You can bring them both together. Okay, now Jelle will start to move, will start to go bottom. When he starts to go bottom, put your back here, please. Usually when people go bottom, then the rotation is over, because the floor stops one rotation. And when the floor stops one rotation, you have the wrist here, for example, that's when you can start putting submissions. So now the wrist grips I'm doing right now is just a proof of concept. It's not really about that position itself, just how you have to think about the game. So what I see, there's also buttons you can press. What is a button? Well, I can put pressure on Jelle's arm here. I can use my finger. Pressure points, nobody taps for that? No, but people will freak out if you put pressure. Now, what are other buttons? I can press his eye. I'm not going to do it on training, but I've done matches where I put my chin near some person's eye and see how he reacts. So for example, the ultimate button you can press is the choke. If you press the artery, then people will faint or they will react to that. Nobody can withstand pressure on the artery. What is the difference between a joint lock, between a joystick and a button? First off, joysticks, they work immediately. He will go with it or will go against it and then break. The button you can press, the choke, even the perfect choke takes a few seconds before the person can tap. However, if you go down please, the not so zen person, if I put for example my chin on Jelle's face here, Jelle is very tough, yeah? So I put pressure here, he will maybe not react. But if he starts to move, turn to your belly for example here, that's when I can get something else. So ultimately, I'm always looking in Jiu-Jitsu to immobilize my partner and to start to use the joysticks, the levers against him. And if I cannot get any lever, then I start giving him a massage, put some pressure, squeeze harder, and then he will start to react. The tougher you are as a person, the better you can start withstanding pressure. The way I see this, if I use my knuckle here to press Jelle's ribs, he will cringe and it will get worse. Put pressure back, please, Jelle. Now, I feel pain in my finger. So Jelle feels pain in his ribs. But now we can see who's the toughest. And you can just be assured that we both feel uncomfortable right now. And now we're going to see who has, well, the biggest cojones, let's say. Huh? So, that's how you have to see Jiu-Jitsu. Always fight for joysticks. And then the game comes interesting when the grip fight happens. If Jelle controls my lever, so you have to twist, I will think first about structural integrity, so go with. And I will try to now, go with and try to at least reclaim the joystick. And at the same time, try to reclaim a joystick of my own. And now, at this point, even though Jelle will have my back, for example, I'm still controlling the rotation, and through motion, I can now exploit that and actually get some part of my game back. Play like that, and the game gets way easier, way more fun, and that's ultimately, and also safer. Thanks a lot. Thanks, man.